Thursday afternoon baseball from Busch Stadium. The streaking St. Louis Cardinals hosting the Mets. Final game of a 4-game series this afternoon. The Cardinals are hot, but so are the Cincinnati Reds and the Pittsburgh Pirates. In fact, 3 of the top 4 records in the National League reside in the Central Division. Welcome to the telecast. Rick Horton alongside the Mad Hungarian Al Raboski. And so far, this series, it's been all St. Louis Cardinals. The Mets are streaking in a negative direction, but the Cardinals, Al, are doing everything right.
They're doing everything right. They have to take advantage of how the Mets are playing right now. You can see the series recap. Cardinals have just dominated in every category. Look at the Mets, 307 with runners in scoring position. They probably would take that any time, but the Cardinals are off the charts with their 367.
Cardinals starting pitching has been very good. Adam Wainwright has been part of that picture, of course. Wainwright gets the start here this afternoon. He has been fantastic in his 8 years as a Cardinal. More year on him when we come back. In his last start against the Rockies, flirting with a no-hitter. He got into the 8th inning. This great play by Matt Carpenter kept it going and kept the hope alive. But finally, Wainwright gives up his first hit with 2 outs. He settles for a 2-hit shutout, but really outstanding as he's been all season long.
Well, Wainwright is back. You just know that coming off the Tommy John, he started pitching last season at 13 months. And it was a bit of a struggle at times, particularly early in that season. But he settled in, and he pitches extremely well here at Busch Stadium. But one problem he has is the New York Mets. He has a 1-3 record against them, an ERA almost 8. It was even worse last year, but he's a different pitcher today.
Wainwright and Neese, the starters. Rick Ankiel, former Cardinal. We have more on his special moments as a Redbird next. 4-game series. Rick Ankiel has joined the club for this series. And we thought with our AT&T Twitter poll, we'd look back at the most memorable moments that Rick Ankiel had as a Cardinal. And we're going to start with his throws in Colorado. A couple of big throws from Ankiel. The first on Willie Taveras, who's tagging up at second. And now we saw a cannon from Ankiel.
Well, he just unloads on this ball. Gloss with the tag. And you'd think you'd learn a lesson, but a little bit later, it was Quintanilla. Tries to stretch a double into a triple, and look at this one from the base of the wall. A good deke by Gloss, and another tremendous throw by Ankiel.
That was May 6, 2008. Our second moment, his home run in his return as a hitter. Called up from AAA on August 9, 2007, and this is what happened on this pitch from Doug Brocail.
Late in the ball game, he gets the off-speed pitch. It's a 3-run home run off of Brocail, and look at the reaction from Tony La Russa. He was the happiest guy you would ever see, even after the game. Manager Tony La Russa said he was only happier the moment as a Cardinal when they won the 2006 World Series.
Our third most memorable moment, a bit of a painful one, and it's Rick's diving catch off of Pedro Feliz. This happened on May 4th, 2009.
Long run. He catches it, but then he stumbles on the warning track and crashes almost head first into the wall. He was injured. Thankfully, it wasn't serious, and he returned to action about 2 weeks later.
We're giving you all a chance to vote. Your most memorable Rick Ankiel moment. Was it his throws in Colorado, his home run on his return, or the diving catch against Philadelphia? We'll have more from Busch Stadium when we come back on Fox Sports Midwest. In the St. Louis lineup these days, Beltran, Craig, Molina. The heart of the order has been hot lately. Cardinals looking for 4 wins in a row as another series sweep is on the horizon. Baseball is next on Fox Sports Midwest. West is brought to you by a reminder from Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Designate a driver. See your Mid-America Chevy dealer or log on to stlchevy.com. Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers, #1 for quality tires and expert auto service. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And by Steak and Shake, just no equal. Cardinals are taking the field. Final game of the series against the Mets. Milwaukee in town over the weekend. The Mets have lost 6 straight games, really struggling to find some offense. And their lineup here this afternoon begins with Jordani Valdespin. He's off the bench, but he's playing right field today. Daniel Murphy's been hot. He plays second base and hits second. David Wright, Ike Davis, Lucas Duda, followed by John Buck, Rick Ankiel, the former Cardinal in center, hits 7th. Ruben Tejada, the shortstop, and Jonathan Neese, 2 and 4 for the Mets. Our Dobbs Cardinals defense, and there's some changes here. Beltran and right. Shane Robinson gets the start today in center field. Alan Craig moves out into left field, which puts Ty Wigginton at first base today. Carpenter and Cosma up the middle. David Freese back in the lineup. And Molina back behind home plate to catch Adam Wainwright. There's a look at Ty Wigginton. Not very many at-bats for him in 2013. And we'll see if the Cardinals can get some offense to support Adam Wainwright.
Look at that, 2 complete games. He's coming off a 2-hit shutout in his last ball game. Good ERA, as all the starters have. He has struggled against the Mets in his career. 1-3, 7.90, and he's lost 3 straight. But Adam pitches so much better here in his home ballpark, and also is very good during day games.
We've seen good young pitching in this series, and now there was a time when Adam Wainwright was young, wearing number 45 as a Memphis Redbird, the familiar curveball. I love this footage. This was in 2004. Hard to believe that Wainwright has had 8 full seasons in a Cardinal uniform at this level. Time flies.
Seems like it's longer.
Does it?
Or he's been around for so long. That was part of the J.D. Drew trade.
Sure was. And the first pitch is strike 1 to Valdespin, and we're underway.
Talk about Adam Wainwright, his success during the days. A career mark of 33-16 during day games. This year, 3-0 with an ERA just over 2.
Cardinals found a new way to win here yesterday. Mets are absolutely struggling. Cardinals had the best record in baseball. The Mets have lost 6 straight. And Jonathan Neese, their pitcher here this afternoon, has been struggling too. So good recipe for the Cardinals, but you still have to get it done. And so far, Wainwright gets it done. 3 pitches and a strikeout of Valdespin. Pulled the string on this pitch.
This Mets ball club, with the exception of just a couple guys, one of them's Murphy coming up, that you're going to be able to expand your zone on it. They're going to take advantage of their aggressiveness, also the fact that they're all in the funk, except for really, I said, Murphy. He's got 7 hits in this series.
Make it 8. Little flare to left. Really just sticks out his bat.
Never get tired of seeing a player hustle, and he knows that little flare right there is going to be over the head of the infielders and in front of Alan Craig. So why not leave the batter's box thinking about the possibility of 2? You can always stop, but if you don't think you 2, you'll never make it.
David Wright, so important to this Met offense. 1 for 8 in his career against Wainwright, but good numbers on the season. Deep in the box.
All 5 of his home runs have come on the road.
I've noticed in the past how David Wright really gets on the plate. He's very, very close to the plate for a power hitter. And he's got a pretty long swing as well. But he's right up in the front of that box. daring Wainwright to try to throw it inside. Curveball lofted into right field. Carpenter makes the play.
Remember Kevin Mitchell?
I do.
His MVP season with the Giants, he was really just having a career year, and I asked him, what's the difference? He said his knees were solid. He had a foundation. He said, I get right on top of the plate, defying the pitcher to pitch inside. If they get inside enough, they're going to get me out. But I'm banking that they'll leave more pitches middle half in, and that's where he had that big home run season.
Makes sense. Cardinal fans, of course, remember Kevin Mitchell for the play that he made.
In the outfield, the left field corner of the old stadium where he barehanded it.
You're running towards the wall and realized that he overran it and had no chance to stick up his glove, so he stuck up his hand and he caught it.
Kevin, a nice guy, but had a kind of looked at a persona that nobody would go up there and question him for doing that.
2-0 to Ike Davis. You mentioned a lot of the Mets, Al, streaking in the wrong direction. If you combine Davis, Duda, Buck, and Valdespin, they're a combined 10 for 103.
Well, Ike's contribution is 0 for his last 17 and 1 hit in his last 20.
It's where you just have to keep pressing the gas pedal down.
Yeah, and I mean, you really just, after you won the first 3 games, a 4-game series, you really don't want to give them any little, give them an inch. You know, they'll let them win tomorrow when they take off, and they got Harvey pitching for them.
Adam Wainwright averaging just 0.6 walks per 9 innings on the season. In a long time before he got his first walk.
He's 34 2/3 innings before his first walk.
3-1 count to Davis. Towards his seat, down the left field line. Out of room is David Freese. And the strikeout walk ratio is a very important stat for pitchers. It's something they'll look at quite a bit, kind of judge whether or not a guy's dominating or not. There's Wainwright with the High Sox Thursday, I guess. But Wainwright, 55 strikeouts against 4 walks.
4 walks.
Swing and a miss. He took something off that pitch. Out in front was Davis. Mets strand 1. Matt Carpenter when we come back. pitch. He's worried about getting hit by the ball. And Al, what happens?
Well, another fielding gem by that gentleman in the red.
Oh, that's funny.
He took out those two kids and everything.
He
Contrary to whatever Dan McLaughlin said, that was more of an indication Danny Field going to pop up here.
He did try to use two hands, though. We'll give him that. Cardinals batting order: Matt Carpenter, Shane Robinson in the second spot. Carlos Beltran will bat third. Craig, Molina, and Freese in the middle. Ty Wigginton getting a start here this afternoon as his average up to 200. Cosmo and Wainwright rounded out. The Mets defense: Duda, Ankiel, Valdespin, Tejada and Murphy in the middle, Davis and Wright at the corners, and John Bunk again behind the plate to catch Jonathan Neese, the left-hander.
Jonathan Neese, last two games, has been hammered. Total of 8 1/3 innings in his last two starts with 15 runs. 15 earned runs, by the way. And he has been walking a ton. 2 starts ago, he walked 6, career high. But many times this year, he's had more walks than strikeouts.
Line drive to center. Ankiel on the move. He's back to the track, and he makes the play. Nice grab by Ankiel.
Really under control, wasn't he? Going back there, but didn't do too much. Just stayed very even keel and reaches up the last second. That's a tire service. Shows you what we're talking about with Rick.
And that looks like it's his glove. That's a different glove than he used in game 1, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's Scott Rice's glove. His equipment did not arrive. I think we saw his name there.
Rick Ankiel used to play for the Cardinals. And lady in the front row thinks he still does. Oops. Not supposed to clap here. Especially sitting next to somebody in a Wainwright jersey.
Straighten her out right away. Mike Matheny shook up the lineup, put all right-handed batters in there, except for Carpenter, the leadoff. And interesting that Shane Robinson is there.
Ground ball up the middle. Backhand by Murphy. Throws out the speedy Robinson.
The reason I said that is John Jay is 3 for 7 with a double and RBI against Neese.
Cardinals have struggled a bit against left-handers. That's an old story that hasn't been true the last couple of years, but in our Toyota Keys this season, the Cardinals not very productive against left-handed starting pitching. Ground ball fair, past the bag at third. Beltran thinking about 2 and turning on the speed at the end, ends up with a stand-up double. Just fast enough to get there. Tested the arm, didn't overuse the gas in his tank.
Well,
the 2-out double.
Said that he knows what his range is. Went pretty good there, but he coasted into second base and he sees the play. And you can see how close Duda got it back in quickly. We say he doesn't waste any motion, and he didn't on that try.
That's what his manager says about him.
Yeah.
Calls him the most efficient player he's ever seen. Really swinging the bat well in the early going. At average close to 300 now. Foul at the plate by Alan Craig, who's up over 300 and 4th in the National League with his 30 RBIs.
Mets starting pitchers over the last 13 games, the starting pitchers are 1-7 with an ERA almost 5 3/4. Overall, they're 8-6 on the season.
Kind of been Matt Harvey and Pray for Rain, but that doesn't rhyme like the Spawn Insane and Pray for Rain statement that the Braves used to have.
Ricky, with our forecast today, don't even mention the word rain.
Well, we don't have to deal with Matt Harvey either way. That's the good idea.
Yeah, we'll be Matt Harvey fans tomorrow.
Yes, we will. Mets going on to Chicago. They play the Cubs over the weekend, and the Cardinals will host the Milwaukee Brewers here. Jams Allen Craig, two-hopper. And Murphy with a couple of assists here in the first. No score through one from St. Louis. MLB.com At Bat is the #1 source for live baseball everywhere you go. Available for iPhone, iPad, Android, and BlackBerry 10. At Bat delivers Cardinals baseball with live audio, pitch tracking, stats, news, highlights, and more. Text At Bat to 31826 or visit Cardinals.com for details. Adam Wainwright misses inside to Lucas Duda. Duda, Buck, and Ankiel for the Mets here in the second inning. 6 left-handed batters in the lineup against Wainwright. I wouldn't think that would be an issue for Wainwright. When he's good, it doesn't really matter. You talked about Mojica like that, pitching the 9th here last night. Doesn't really matter. I would say the same for Wainwright.
He can throw his curveball to any batter. Tried one right there. He's got the very good cutter that'll be coming in on the left-handed batters, and he spots his fastball. Mojica can do it because of that fork ball, split finger changeup pitch. That one was pretty close. Might have been down a little bit.
Jeff Suppan used to throw that pitch, and he called it the Fosh ball, if I remember correctly. And it's like, I don't know really what to call it, so it's just going to be a change of speed. I'm splitting my fingers on the ball, and it goes down. You can call it whatever you want.
Heard that. I've heard it called the Vulcan pitch.
Wigginton to Wainwright. And we've got another fun moment at the stands. Hello? Where's my ticket?
He's excited, isn't he?
Happy to be at the ballpark. And his moment on TV, and that's what we get.
We get more.
Your mom is so proud. Oh, boy. Fun kid. Happy to be at the ballpark. Can't blame him. I guess that means he's not at school today.
I assume so. These kids are so smart, they're already graduated from college.
Wainwright 5-2 on the season. 2.30 earned run average puts him 9th in the National League. The Cardinals really holding down a lot of spots in that top 10. Al, the starters have been so good.
They really have. They've been outstanding. 26 wins, 23 of them by the starters. 3 vulture wins from Seth Maness.
Curveball. Buck doesn't like the call. He's been unhappy with the umpires all series long.
You don't often see a catcher argue too much with umpires. And it's in the strike zone. I don't like to leave a pitch down and in like that where a batter can just drop the barrel.
Another nice round of applause for Rick Ankiel. Tell the Cardinals, like other teams, have just been trying to pound him inside, Al, and Seth Maness left the ball out over the plate on him yesterday.
You know, that's basically, you get ahead of him, you can really pitch him in, you can pitch him up, and you can definitely frustrate him by throwing breaking balls away. As happy as we are to see him back here, you know, there was a reason why the Houston Astros, I think arguably the worst team in baseball right now, released him.
Good fastball from Wainwright, evens the count.
It just kind of surprises you there. He's got so many off-speed pitches that he can throw that sometimes he'll throw that fastball, and you know, you're just trying to figure out which going to be the cutter coming in on the left-hander or the curveball going away. Wants the cutter.
Wainwright has 3 strikeouts, looking for number 4.
Rick only has 4 walks on the year and 37 strikeouts. Throw the curveball.
Swing and a miss. He strikes out Anfield. 4th strikeout for Wainwright. He's allowed just 1 hit through 2 innings. And we'll see Yadier Molina, David Freese, and Ty Wigginton when we come back. High socks, just like John Jay and Descalzo wear every Sunday on High Sock Sundays. May 19th, kids 15 and younger with a ticket will receive a pair of Cardinals knee-high socks. Don't forget, it's also a Prairie Farms ice cream sundae before the game. Get your tickets at cardinals.com/promotion. Here's a good look at those high socks. Mr. Wainwright sporting those here on a Thursday afternoon. Had some rain threatening in the area, but Al says we're not supposed to say that word, and we've had some assurances from our production crew that they're going to keep it from raining today. I don't know how they have that power, but they said they will. Line drive, base hit to right for Molina.
Pitch hit in the 8th inning last night. It gave the Cardinals an insurance run with an RBI single.
All kinds of things going on here at Busch Stadium. A lot on the field, but there's certainly plenty of places to pick up some fun trinkets, memorabilia, souvenirs, hot dogs, libations,
victories.
Like those. Always better at the park when the Cardinals come out on top, that's for sure. Good crowds for the series. Cardinals enjoying being at home after a lot of road games in the early going. Cardinals put together a 14-7 start on the road.
Yeah, that's what's great. And a lot of times aren't that many new players, but start the season on the road, you kind of have the opportunity to kind of gel together, get to know you guys. And
really is a bonding time, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Make those road trips. The next time the Cardinals go on the road after Milwaukee's here over the weekend, the Redbirds will go to the West Coast, San Diego for 3, an off day, then the Dodgers for 3, before finishing up in Kansas City for a 2-game set. Then back here in St. Louis
for 2 more against Kansas City.
Yeah. Broken bat, ground ball to the left side. David Wright has one play, and that's to get David Freese. You're a better third baseman in baseball than David Wright? To think about that for a minute.
Davis committed 3 errors, but we've seen an awful lot of nice plays from the All-Star, Gold Glove winner, the face of their franchise.
Got his own version of the high socks.
Wigginton is in this, gets the start because of his success against Nice. He's 4 for 10, a couple doubles, 3 RBIs, 5 walks, and 4 strikeouts.
You mentioned, Al, the walks of Nice. Not only does Wigginton hit Jonathan Nice well, he's also walked 5 times against him. And Nice this season, you mentioned the high walk, 6th in the National League with his 22 walks. There's the 4 for 10, but you can add 5 walks to that, so the on-base percentage really good.
He has more walks, 1 more than strikeouts. Has pitched well against the Cardinals, 4 career starts, 2-1, ERA at 1.83.
Change up.
Mentioned his last start, he gave up 8 earned runs, and the time before that was 7.
Looks like he's being very careful with Wigginton. He's seen those numbers.
Well, we talking with Keith Hernandez, and he said, you know, he's trying to be so perfect and been walking everybody, just trying to make perfect pitches, getting behind the count. But looks like today he's making a conscious effort at going after hitters.
Broken bat, little flare to the right side, and not in time to double up Molina. Nice and Wainwright are our starters here. Final game of this 4-game series. No runs yet, but these starters going in different directions. You mentioned the rough couple of starts that Nice has had, and all those hits and runs. Wainwright on the other side almost perfect.
And came off that last start against Colorado Saturday, where Adam flirted with a no-hitter, took one into the 8th inning, ended up with a 2-hitter. Right after Carpenter made a great play to keep the no-hitter intact. Next batter hit the ball, solid single up the middle for a base hit.
Pete Kozma will try to put the Cardinals on the board first. Has played a very steady shortstop for St. Louis. Just one error on the season, and we are very close to the quarter pole mark of the 2013 season. Game number 40 here this afternoon.
A lot of people in baseball just kind of say we'll kind of settle in and see what happens after 40 games. They don't really mind the team being at 500. If you can jump out to the great start, and Cardinals had a good April, but a great May is shaping up for the big month to build this lead.
Fly ball in center field. Ankiel on the move, and he can't get it. It's going to drop. The Cardinals get on the board first. RBI base hit for Pete Kozma, his 15th RBI of the season. That ball was up in the air a long time. Ankiel was playing him deep.
Well, he's playing him at the top of the arch, so he's got a long run. And you know, you just wonder, he just joined the ball club on Monday, and how much communication. Yachty thinks it's a routine out. Kozma did a good job to get himself to second base. Just a blue pit, but see how deep that Ankiel was playing.
Cardinals outscoring their opponents 22-7 in the second inning. Early runs. Rely on your starter to keep it that way. Hand it off to the bullpen. Pretty good formula.
Rick, one of the things I like to kind of observe, and that's the scoring by innings. The Cardinals have outscored their opponent in the first 7 innings, and then the opponent has outscored the home team in the 8th and 9th innings.
I'll bet that number's even better than it was after the first couple of weeks of the season.
And yeah, because a couple of those frames, like the first frame, was they were down. Cardinals also are 21-7 when they score first. 20-2 with scoring more than 3 runs.
Early 1-0 lead for St. Louis. Big swing by Wainwright. He fouls it back. Wainwright, a .201 career hitter, and he has 6 home runs on his resume.
Early last season, he really struggled offensively. So he came in, I think last year was about 240.
Change up, hit to left, and Duda almost comes in too far and finds that ball going over his head. Pete Kozma has given the Cardinals the lead here in the second with his RBI hit and almost another run. Sun has just broken out here at Busch Stadium, and that must mean it's time to talk to Jim Hayes. Jim?
Yeah, you guys know that the importance of Adam Wainwright goes beyond the mound. There's an element of leadership, and Shelby Miller knows that firsthand. Shelby admits he's had some maturity issues along the way, but he says watching Wainwright go about it has helped him find the right path. And he says Wainwright watches him like a hawk. For example, Shelby says there may have been a time or two where he spent too much time by his locker playing video games on his phone. Wainwright put a stop to that. So now if you see Shelby playing his favorite video game, Disc Drive, that's because he has done all his work, and Wainwright says it's okay, guys.
Thanks, Jim. That's outstanding. It sounds like parents everywhere want to know how Adam Wainwright can have that kind of pull on a young man. Parents trying to get their kids to stop playing video games. To send those questions to Adam Wainwright in care of Jim Hayes. But Al, there is a time to do your work.
Oh yeah. I don't think the fans really realize how much goes on behind the scenes and preparation.
Wainwright working to Tejada, 0-2, and I also think it's hard for us to detach from the player as the mystique of the player and remember that Shelby Miller's 22 years of age. Think about what you were like when you were 22 or what your kids are like at 22, and we kind of think he's going to do everything right and kind of not have to be coached, but he's 22. He needs to be coached, and the fact that he's coachable is good news.
Well, we've talked about how much he has matured, really since the beginning of last year. He's even mentioned that last year at this time he had a 8 or 9 ERA at AAA, and then kind of things started clicking for him the second half. Got rewarded.
Fly ball to left. It's like a sun field here this afternoon. Nisa's retired. 2 quick outs for Wainwright in the third. Talk about the maturation of Shelby Miller and maybe kind of having some struggles at times in the minor leagues. You know, Wainwright, his last year in AAA was just 10-10 with a 4.4 ERA in AAA. And he was called up at the end of that year. He'd had a 5 ERA the year before and was hurt some. And just barely a 500 pitcher in the minor leagues. And he's been a lot more than that at the big league level. Career record of 85 and 50 for the Cardinals.
Talking about how much teaching goes on at the big league level. You know, it used to be a finishing school in the minor leagues, but now guys have rushed to the big leagues a lot quicker to get some return off the investment.
Run attempt, drag bunt, going to be trouble. Carpenter did everything he could do to try to make that play, and then he goes and saves the ball before it goes into the Cardinal dugout. Just perfect bunt to the perfect spot for Valdespin.
Kind of in that Bermuda Triangle, set up inside, and so he's able to kind of get a little running start on it. Just places it perfectly. You know, there's a good example on that. I don't know if Tom Meek can show it, but you know how many times a right-hander always is going to start and run 15-20 feet on the grass, and a left-hander bat like Valdespin, because the way he bunted that ball, when he takes off to first base, he's running inside the baseline, and then you've got to make a correction down the line.
He almost has to. You're right.
You have to.
And by the way, the official name again for that play is the tweener play.
Show me that in the book.
It's not in any book.
No, you just said it was the official one, so it's got to be.
It can be official and not be written down, can it?
Nope.
Oh. He had considered going to second base on the errant flip from Carpenter. Started to make that move towards second base, then stopped.
That one little step that he made towards second means he's got to get back to the bag, or if he's tagged, he'd be out.
Tom Goodwin, the first base coach for the Mets, former Dodger, played some other places as well. Played for the Rockies. You like the guys that know how to run the bases and were good at it as your first base coach. I'm not sure if that's official either, Al, written down anywhere, but I like the thought of having a guy that really understands the running game.
Makes sense when a lot of times that first base coach is also the base running coach.
Hard hit to right. This is trouble. Beltran takes it off the wall. They're going to wave him home. Carpenter, throw to the plate. Not in time. Throw to third. Safe there as well. Daniel Murphy. Double and an RBI. Takes third on the throw, and this game is tied.
Murphy's been the one guy for the Mets that the Cardinals can't get him out. That's a 9th hit. It's actually in his last, in the 4 games, 9th hit. It's an RBI, and Valdespin can run. You see him run like that, you wonder why he didn't take that fly ball that Ankiel.
Good point.
Very close play there, but he slides to the back half of the bag, and Murphy was safe at third.
There's a case where David Wright fouling it off his foot. There's a case where the old school, the unwritten official book would say that you're not supposed to bunt with 2 outs and nobody on. And in this case, it works out for Valdespin and the Mets. There was a time where if you would bunt with 2 outs and nobody on, you'd get hit the next time. Because the sense was you're just trying to pad your own stats. And what every coach would tell you is hit a double. Not time to bunt, but it works out here. Scores on the extra base hit. And flare to right. This is trouble too, and it hits in front of Beltran and gets away from it. Mets have taken the lead. And Wright heads to second base.
Set up away. They're going to do their little slider. And hits right off the end of the bat. Carlos got a little too close to it. He was trying to come in on that ball, make the play, and then he couldn't get that first hop. That was a little higher than he anticipated. So single and E9. Second error for Beltran.
Mike Davis struck out to end the first. Ground ball, and it's foul, just missing going over that first base bag. Very close. Beltran, you could tell on that play, Al, he had a glimmer of hope that maybe he would catch that ball, so he allowed that ball to crowd him a bit. Guess worth the effort. He wasn't sure. Took a chance, couldn't get to it, and ended up playing it into an error. But as a pitcher, I think you'd prefer that than to have it just wait back.
That's the way I've always looked at it. Guys overly aggressive, trying to do something good for me, you know, then you applaud them. Another aspect to it is, as a pitcher, you really try to get the next guy out and don't let that mistake end up hurting you or affecting in the scoring. Kind of challenge yourself to be able to pitch around the error.
Wainwright got 2 quick outs here in the 3rd inning, then a bunt single by Valdespin. A Daniel Murphy double and a base hit by David Wright. And just like that, it's 2-1 New York. Here's a call, 3rd strike. Mike Davis strikes out for the 2nd time. And it'll be the top of the order for the Cardinals when we come back. Carpenter scored a lot of runs. Can he get on base again? you by Schnucks, your neighborhood hometown grocer. Steel, available exclusively at a servicing Steel dealer. Visit steeldealers.com. And the Chipotle Chicken Club Combo is back for a limited time at Jack in the Box. Try one today with fries and a drink for just $4.99 plus tax. Key hit in the 2-run Met third inning. Daniel Murphy double into the right field corner. And he scored on the base hit by David Wright. 2-1 New York. Carpenter, Robinson, and Beltran for St. Louis in the third. Jonathan Neese, we mentioned 2-4 on the season, has pitched well against the Cardinals in his career. 2-1 with a 1.83 ERA in his 4 starts. Looks a little sharper today than what we've heard about Mr. Neese. Hard hit, but right at Davis, out number 1.
Sometimes you get in a little rut, and it sounded like that's what Jonathan Neese was trying to be, a little too perfect, trying to always make the perfect pitch and be off the plate, getting behind in the count, and then you're only going to get hurt. But it's like after the 2 rough starts, he's been convinced to go out and try and challenge hitters and pitch ahead in the count.
Perfect place to be here at the ballpark today, Busch Stadium. Very comfortable temperatures. Ground ball handled by Neese. Had to have quick reactions for that one. Throws out Robinson. Nice crowd on hand. They'd like to see another one of those big Macland home runs from this guy, Carlos Beltran.
By the way, that offer, take your ticket stub to any McDonald's in the St. Louis area, is good till the 21st for an entire week, and then you could redeem it for a Big Mac.
Doesn't have to be the next
day.
day.
We thought it was the next day, and now it's the 21st.
Find that ticket stub in your trash can. Go get your Big Mac. 2-1 New York. Live pregame show, we're introducing another new feature, the numbers game. We're going to look at the history of Cardinals jersey numbers. Catch Cardinals Live tomorrow at 6:30, followed by the Cardinals and the Brewers at 7 on Fox Sports Midwest. 2-1 New York. Cardinals have won the first 3 games of this series. Families on hand here again, sporting the powder blue jersey. That gentleman and being a good dad.
It's called Victory Blue jerseys. That's what the name was in 1977, and there weren't a lot of victories in it. Wasn't the player's fault, it was the jersey.
Lucas Duda, John Buck, and Rick Ankiel in the 4th. In fact, it was the 70s, the last time the Cardinals swept the Mets in a 4-game series. That was at Shea Stadium. 1979.
I believe it was a 5-game series because a couple doubleheaders.
That was in 82.
That was in 82.
5-game series in 82. Last time it was a 4-game series was in 79. Lucas Duda now 4 for 41 in the month of May.
Mets are caught with problems, you know, the financial problems with their ownership group. Their minor league system is filled with pitching prospects, but very few, you know, position players.
The 3-1 is low, and a rare Wainwright walk to lead off the 4th. 24th time that Duda's reached base via the walk.
It's the 5th walk of the season for Wainwright, and 61 2/3 innings.
The guy they're really looking forward to seeing is Zach Wheeler, pitching
yeah,
on the pitching side. But you're right, much more arms than everyday players.
Arnaud is a catching prospect that they really like. Got him for Toronto. I think he's been traded for. Involved with 2 different Cy Young Award winners. Came in the R.A. Dickey deal. And I don't know if he was the Halliday or something like that. Maybe. Get that one out, Ricky.
Swing and a miss to John Buck. Travis d'Arnaud, 24-year-old catcher. We saw him some in spring training, and he's been involved with a Halliday deal in 2009, and you're right, R.A. Dickey in 2012. So your memory, Al, is still perfect.
Scary. That R.A. Dickey, they got John Buck, current catcher and the future catcher.
Late swing by Buck, 1-2.
Off the plate with that cutter.
Set up inside is Molina. Waino hits his spot.
Yeah, good pitch right there.
Seems as if Waino's curveball is inconsistent so far today. He's had some good ones, but he's kind of thrown some sloppy ones that have stayed to the arm side as well.
You just almost tell that everything is just a little bit off. Trying to get him chased, and now another full count. He wouldn't walk 2 in a row, would he?
I'm guessing no. Short lead for Duda. Full count to Buck. Takes off anyway. Curveball, strike 3, and the Cardinals with another double play. Their 43rd of the season, and this is the strike 'em out, throw 'em out variety.
Well, we always talk about if a pitcher will pay attention to that runner over there, Yachty will do the rest. Good curveball for strike 3, his 6th strikeout, and then you see Cosma with a tag just waiting for Duda to come into his range, or Carpenter.
Nets trying to stay out of the double play. They send the runner and they end up with a double play. Really, that puts the burden on the hitter to make sure he puts the ball in play if it's a strike.
Oh, Wainwright gets his fair share of ground balls, so
makes sense.
Yep.
Wigginton takes it himself. Cardinals trail by 1. You can score any size coffee, fountain, or frozen drink for just 50 cents the next day at On the Run. And while you're there, be sure to stop by the On the Way Cafe for breakfast, biscuits, hot dogs, sandwiches, and more, only at On the Run. 2-1 New York, bottom of the 4th inning. Mets have 4 hits, the Cardinals 3. And the Cardinal fans hoping for an offensive explosion here in the 4th inning. We've seen it before. Alan Craig, Yadier Molina, and David Freese. 1, 2, 3.
David's hit 400 for the homestand. Leads the club with his 30 RBIs.
Craig bounced out to second. His first plate appearance. And nibbling a bit here against Alan Craig is Jonathan Neese.
Time we said he was going to go right after people and challenge him, and starts nibbling.
Alan Craig has had a very good month offensively, and he and Yadier Molina are BJC Healthcare difference makers. Craig has found his home run stroke, a couple of home runs, 12 RBIs, and Yadier Molina hitting close to 400 this month. Craig spoils the changeup. And another souvenir. We've been highlighting our fans here and the baseball experience at Busch Stadium. Alan, you're keeping us up to speed and side conversation about what's going on in Ballpark Village. You have a big eye on that, don't you?
Start to get a little view of the steel going up across the street. That'll be fun to watch it as the season progresses. See how much progress they made on Ballpark Village.
Swing and a miss. Craig strikes out. And that's how the bottom of the fourth starts. First strikeout for Neese.
Allen got disappointed himself knowing he chased a ball up and out of the strike zone. There you see what we're talking about. First phase of Ballpark Village is underway.
Molina singled and scored in the second inning.
I may be wrong, Ricky, but I think it's in the top of the building of the Cardinals Hall of Fame will be some outdoor seating, kind of like the Wrigley Field across the street. That'd be a kind of a new feature too, right? We had to have Jim go climb one of those girders and just show where it will be.
I think Jim's up to it.
Yeah, I think he could handle that, walking on those beams.
We'll see if we can get him to do that before this homestand is over. Get him a hard hat.
No safety harness, though.
He doesn't need one.
No, I mean, he's a cat. He's got 9 lives. See a cat when he falls or jumps from a high altitude,
Doesn't
always
get hurt.
lands on his feet, doesn't get hurt. Jim could do it too. The cat.
The 0-2 to Molina. God, he just seems so comfortable at the plate, Aldi. There's no kind of tension in his swing. Pitch count for Neese.
I like his base hit today and his RBI single last night as a pinch hitter. Both shooting to right field. You know, sometimes you start hitting those home runs, you start thinking, get pull conscious, and you get away from your strengths.
Cardinals hoping for that 4-game sweep here today. The Cardinals have already had a 4-game sweep this season. That happened on the road in Milwaukee. Tough to do that on the road.
Last road trip were Milwaukee for 4 and then Chicago for 2. They won 5 out of 6 games. They have that 14-7 road record. And Mike Matheny's clubs had to do it against some of the better pitching staffs.
Another hard hit to right field, but this is going to carry to the right fielder Valdespie. So Molina hits that right on the nose. Out number 2. Hard to argue with this Cardinal pitching staff, being one of the top staffs in all of baseball right now. They lead the National League with a 3.03 ERA. Cardinals are also, Al, with all the talk we have about pitching, third in hitting in terms of batting average.
Yeah, the average has been going up. Entered today at 264. Derek Lilliquist, he deserves a lot of credit.
Dealing with a lot of different kind of personalities, and he may have to deal with another one before it's over, and that is Chris Carpenter. A lot of news on Carpenter's comeback, and talked it over with Mike Shannon in our pregame show that he's doing everything he can to get back on that mound.
It just seems like it's going well, but who do you penalize?
I guess the idea is cross that bridge when we come to it.
Amazing when a decision has to be made. It a lot of times made for you through injury.
Late swing by Freese. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Nice. Go to the 5th. 2-1 New York. Pitchers duel here this afternoon. What's on tap brought to you by Budweiser. The Brewers coming into town tomorrow. Game 1 coverage begins at 6:30 on Fox Sports Midwest, and that means Ryan Braun.
Well, Milwaukee is 16-22, 9.5 games back behind the Cardinals, and they are in last place in the Central Division by percentage points, 400ths of a point below Chicago. And Milwaukee is 2-8 in their last 10.
Very streaky team.
And aren't they happy to be in Pittsburgh tonight with a night game? Cardinals playing here, the day game.
Redbirds will be more rested for game 1 of that series. Ruben Tejada, Jonathan Nice, and Valdespin in the Mets 5th. Brewers, hard to believe the numbers that you just gave, Al, considering they had a 9-game winning streak at one point.
Yeah. Well, part of that 2-8, I think, is the Cardinals' 4-game sweep.
Six strikeouts for Wainwright. But he allowed 2 Met runs in that 3rd inning after 2 were out. You know, talking about the National League Central Division now as a group in the aggregate, the Central is 15 games over 500. The National League East, which I would have thought would have been the strongest division in the National League, they collectively are minus 24.
Wow.
Up the middle, tough play for Kozma. He throws out Tejada. Thought that might be headed up the middle, but perhaps the mound slows this down and gives Kozma a chance.
It's off the mound. It's kicked it up a little bit, and as Mike Matheny told us yesterday, that Kozma making progress on his ability to go to his left, to his glove side. There's a little limited range that way, and he thinks that's has improved since the start of the season, and we agree. There's an example of it.
As we critique this Cardinal team, and everybody does that is a fan and watches them play every day, you feel like you're almost straining gnats to find something that could be improved upon. But overall, the team's doing so well, you're really not talking about things that are big deals. They're just, what is the next level for Pete Kozma? Is he playing a great shortstop? Absolutely. But how does he get better? And just the fact that Mike Matheny is addressing that and talking about that and how we can get better, to me, that's what winning teams do. Another strikeout for Wainwright. Show off your Cardinals spirit in style with a cap with the new Cardinals alternate logo, courtesy of U.S. Cellular, the official wireless provider of the St. Louis Cardinals. 25,000 fans ages 16 and older will receive the adult cap at the Friday, May 17th Cardinals versus the Brewers game. Visit cardinals.com/promotions for more details. 2 outs in the 5th. Top of the order, and Valdespin got things started there in the 3rd, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. And a lot of times you don't like it when somebody drops down a bunt on you. And we'll see if Wainwright pitches him a little differently.
Good curveball from Wainwright. Pitch count still low for Wainwright. Working in the 5th.
Valdespin, one of these guys that hits so much better on the road. 324 average on the road, 147 at home. How does that equate? Low, tantalizing breaking ball, curve ball, seen 74 and swinging way over the top. Kind of jumps with his body, feet still kind of stationary, but he kind of moving the upper body. Could have been John Jay right there. Cool looking sunglasses, just like yours, Ricky.
I might have to get a pair of those. I'm not sure they would be me.
Oh, I think they would be.
You think so?
Oh, sure.
Full count to Valdespin. Ground ball right side. He runs well. You better hurry. Carpenter, and he got him at first base. Close place at first. Halfway through. New York. And what a place to sit. Big Mac Land. Say good morning to the new Egg White Delight McMuffin. 8 grams of whole grain and just 250 calories at McDonald's. Plenty of good food here at the ballpark as well. A lot of good choices. Champions Club if you've not been there. Cardinal Club. A lot of good food choices as well. And plenty of nice little nooks and crannies here at the ballpark to explore with your family. Ty Wigginton quickly 0-2. Dizzy's Diner. Everything has a Cardinal flair to it too. I like that. Wigginton drops his bat. Called out looking. I want to know who filmed this. Somebody going up the escalator backwards. Would that be T. West? How talented is he? Think he had a spotter?
That's world-class photography right there. It has to be Tony West.
That is outstanding.
How still his hands are. No bouncing of the camera.
He's incredible. Now going forward, I think I could do that. Very impressive. 2-0 on Pete Kozma. Neese has struck out 3 of the last 4 Cardinals and has retired 8 straight.
Jim Hayes just texted me. His wife saw me in the Helitech commercial, and his son Tyler said, "Why isn't Al at the ballpark?"
Tough hop handled by David Wright on the backhand, and he throws out Kozma. Nice play there. Thankfully, Al, you are here at the ballpark.
Davis made some nice plays in this series. But he made one mistake in yesterday's ball game and helped the Cardinals to the win. But this ball comes up.
Some guys have good hands and some guys don't. I mean, there's form to it and there's work and practice, but some guys just have the soft hands and are able to make that kind of adjustment. Wainwright, line drive, base hit to center. Trying to help himself here in the 5th inning. 2-out single.
2 outs when the Cardinals do a lot of damage.
All 3 runs in this game have come with 2 outs. Mets had their rally in the 3rd inning. Pete Kozma, RBI double in the 2nd. That's your scoring. Reds playing the Marlins again tonight. Matt Latos has pitched very well of late. He goes for Cincinnati. You mentioned the start later tonight. The Brewers are in Pittsburgh. That's Burgos and Luriano. Cardinals at 26-13.
Winning 2 of every 3 games.
As we said in our open, Reds and the Pirates are pretty much keeping pace with the Cardinals. Reds have won 5 straight.
That's okay. You know how frustrating that is when you go on a winning streak and you can't pick up any ground. with the consistent starting pitching the Cardinals are getting. Seem like they will be in every game.
Time to answer our Twitter poll. Your most memorable Rick Ankiel moment, and defense wins out in our Twitter poll. The arm of Rick Ankiel, the throws from Colorado, 69% of you voting for that, including, I'm guessing by look on your face, Al, you.
Yeah, I would think so.
The home run was pretty amazing though too.
Sure. The most recent one were the 2 throws in Colorado. And it's understandable the crash into the wall would not be.
Might even be a crash. Maybe he doesn't even remember. That was
true about that. Where his head and shoulder kind of tucked in there. It could have been a lot worse than it was.
Scary moment. Yeah, you bet. Late timeout for Shane Robinson. East looks a little aggravated by that. Probably aggravated by his 2-out walk to Matt Carpenter.
Go ahead and throw the ball. Free shot at the umpire, the hitter, whatever you want him to do.
I like the way you think, Al. Rare start for Shane Robinson in center field. Afternoon off for John Jay. Cardinals have Adams, Jay, Descalzo, Tony Cruz, and Matt Holliday on the bench.
Johnny had good numbers against his left-hander, Jonathan Neese.
High strike. Or was it?
Wigginton 4 for 10. John Jay 3 for 7. Holliday 2 for 10. There's 3 regulars out of the lineup today. Two outs, 2 strikes. Wainwright out at second base. The middle infielder is really not paying attention to him much, but he can look in and be his own umpire, and he sees that pitch near the strike zone, get a bigger lead.
And he can do even more than that now. Count of 3 and 2.
Now Carpenter gets to follow it too. So Oquendo just told Wainwright, be careful of that reverse move. Pitchers sometimes will do. Try and pick off a guy on a full count.
Saw that work against Yadier Molina. There go the runners. Ground ball to short. Tejada has it. And he throws out Robinson. Cardinals threaten here with 2 outs in the 5th. Strand 2 more. Trail by 1. New York. 4 hits apiece. Cardinals have the only game's error. That was Carlos Beltran. Fans enjoying a beautiful afternoon here in the Midwest. A lot of families out. A lot of Cardinal fans in red. And they're hoping that Adam Wainwright can pick up his 6th victory of the season here, and the Cardinals can manage to sweep the New York Mets. Fans brought their fans. Cardinals, Fox Sport, and the state of Missouri are teaming up to help you stop smoking. For more information, call the Quit line at 1-800-QUIT-NOW. Great shots of the fans here this afternoon, and our crew does such a great job of bringing you the sights and sounds of being at the ballpark. T. West has been busy. He's been all over the stadium today. Daniel Murphy takes a curveball high. Murphy, Wright, and Davis scheduled to bat here in the 6th. Murphy has hit well on the road and well against Wainwright.
2 for 2 today, 5 for 8.
This one well hit down the right field line, and it's deep. Beltran towards the corner, and it's a ground rule double. It may have gone under the wall or bounced over, but Carlos Beltran raised his hands right away, and there must be a small crack underneath the wall there down the right field line, because I didn't see that bounce over.
And Terry Collins is going to come in here and argue that that's a home run. You'll see the ball coming in, and yeah, right in that crack. And Carlos did the right thing. Throw your hands up, tell the umpires. And first base umpire Tim Timmons goes down the line, but that's a line drive like that. You can't. They don't want you running down into the corner where your eyes are bouncing.
Right.
So they recommend is you to get into a stationary position so you can really get the best look you possibly can.
I'm not sure I've ever seen that.
I have never seen that. Or that the gate opens up there, go underneath the stands.
Leadoff double for Murphy. He's now 3 for 3 and wearing out the Cardinals in this series. Late swing by Wright makes it 0-2.
It's 10 hits in the last 5 games for Murphy, and in this series his second 3-hit game. Looking down for something where everybody's looking. Wainwright's looking down in the corner and everything, and saying, "Go ahead and pitch. Nobody's bothering you."
I think everybody's still trying to figure out how did that ball get through the wall down the right field line, and Wainwright thought maybe they were checking on something down there. But the 0-2 is fouled back by Wright. Key situation for Wainwright here. A 1-run game working in the 6th.
Very capable of stranding that runner, and that's what he's going to have to do.
Does it feel where 1 run's going to be the difference maker here in this game?
Well, the other aspect is talk about a team like the Mets, everything going bad for them. They're trying to figure out how they're going to lose it, and they kind of know about the problems in the bullpen. They may take a lead, but the bullpen has allowed at least 1 run in its last 8 games. The opposition has hit a home run against the bullpen in 7 of the Pen's last 11 games.
Hard hit to right, and this is trouble. Going to get down and to the wall. Murphy will score, and David Wright RBI double to right, and he's going to take off for third on the errant throw, and he's going to be safe. Heads up base running. He knew he could outrun Ty Wigginton's dash to the ball, and he ends up at third base. Very alert base running. And the Cardinals' second error of the afternoon.
We're talking about Murphy, how hot he is, but you really got to be careful trying to go in and leaves that ball in the outer half. Here's the throw coming in, misses both cutoff men, and then it's a foot race. One of those little things that you got a double cutoff, and he overthrew the first, and it's kind of low enough to where it got by the second.
The error does go to Shane Robinson, the Cardinals center fielder. So 2 outfield errors for the Cardinals today.
And both of them have been with David Wright running on the bases.
Mike Davis waves at that curveball. Here's the throw from Robinson.
See, it overthrows the first cutoff man. It short hops Cosmo. It gets away from him. And David Wright knew that there was nobody there, so he felt he could run faster than they could retrieve the baseball.
Swing and a miss. Mike Davis, 3 strikeouts on the day, and he just waves at another Wainwright curveball. Well, Adam couldn't save that last run, but maybe he can save this one. You know, I'm not so sure that's not as much Cosmo's fault as it is Shane Robinson's. As that ball gets over the head of the first cutoff man, doesn't he have to try to run up and catch that ball on the fly?
Well, he short hopped him in.
It happens.
Yeah, it happens. Yeah, I mean, but one of those things. I think David Wright was a little more alert than the Cardinal defense.
Wainwright needs another strikeout.
Fernando Salas starting to throw in the pin. Good pitch inside. Ball there, you see Salas.
Good curveball. A 2-0 count. Duda not looking for that. You mentioned, Al, that Wainwright has not had a lot of success against the Mets. Not a lot of games. But 1-3 with a 7.9 ERA against New York.
Yeah, last year it was 0-2 and even higher ERA, but it's not that same pitcher coming back from Tommy John as he was last year.
Another curveball, and it's a beauty.
I would bet this game will not stay 3-1.
I would agree with that. Infield in. Trying to cut this run off. Wainwright set. The 2-2. The curveball is hit into center field, and this is going to score a run. Robinson over, makes the play. Tagging and scoring is David Wright. And it's 4-1 New York. For every Cardinals win this series against the Mets and the weekend series against the Brewers coming up, fans are going to save $3 off on pavilion level tickets to see the Cards and the Diamondbacks June 3rd through the 6th. This could lead to a discount as high as $21, meaning free tickets. Cardinals are currently 3-0 during this promotion. How high will the discount go? Stay tuned and save. For details, visit cardinals.com/win.
Ricky, those are $19 tickets. Does that sound right?
I believe there are some that are $19 tickets, correct.
Currently, they're being sold at $10.
And we're Trying to get better than that.
3 wins. Oh, we got this game and 3 more to try and knock off a few bucks.
Molina having trouble seeing it. That makes the play. 2 more for the Mets. Here today, 4-1 they trail behind Adam Wainwright. Our head and shoulders whiff package is the strikeout work of Wainwright. Picked up 8 on the day, a lot with the curveball that we know so well, the 12-6. He's got Mike Davis 3 times. Wainwright, some overpowering moments, but 2 runs in the 3rd and 2 in the 6th, and he trails 4-1. One of those runs unearned. Line drive, base hit to left. Beltran swinging at the first pitch again. He has done that a high percentage of the time this year with good results.
He's got 2 of the Cardinal 5 hits. Right there, the ball coming into him. Belt high, and it was belted.
The walk total for Carlos Beltran is extremely low because he's been putting balls in play early in the count. Only walked 8 times this year. And only once from the right side. Changeup. Called strike to Alan Craig. Cardinals trying to get something going here in the 6th inning, trailing by 3. Lucas Duda was any deeper in left, he would be a Met reliever.
I'll say he's got passes that are sitting out there in that area there, how deep the left fielder is.
Ground ball left side, right to second for 1, on to first. The Mets turn a double play here in the 6th.
Beltran going after it, just trying to disrupt that throw. The second baseman, Daniel Murphy, really an offensive player. He's got one of the hits.
David Wright started that double play, and he's been in the middle of the Mets offensive scoring here today. Pulled foul by Molina. Wright singled, had an RBI in that third inning, and a double and an RBI in the sixth inning. And errors on both of those plays, as you mentioned, outfield errors.
Just couldn't get around Murphy and David Wright in the third and sixth innings. But there is still time for the Cardinals to. Nice is not going to finish this ball game.
The Mets have scored in 5 innings in this series, and every one of the numbers a crooked number. The Rockies scored 3 times in the series before, and every one of them a crooked number.
All the scoring was on Sunday for the Rocky series.
Murphy to Davis. Molina is retired. We're through 6. Cardinals need late inning magic today. With a ticket will receive a pennant highlighting hometown hero David Freese, courtesy of Coca-Cola and Pasta House. Then come back with Mom and Dad on Sunday, May 19th, and it's High Socks Sunday. Kids ages 15 and younger will get to dress like John Jay with their high socks. For more information or to purchase tickets, visit cardinals.com/promotions. Our Chevy call to the bullpen, the lefty Randy Choate. Adam Wainwright's afternoon is through. And kind of a mixed bag for Wainwright. 6 innings, just 6 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned. Only 1 walk and 8 strikeouts for Wainwright. But he trails 4-1.
Mike Matheny showing the respect and little fear of the power potential for Keel. Brings in Randy Choate. This was all setting up for the vulture again.
And it's still May.
That's what I mean. Cardinals are trailing right now, but I figure they will score. you bring in sometimes Seth Maness, and he picks up his 4th win in his 6th appearance. But Randy Choate will take care of Ankiel.
Choate's work has been good. Key for him, from Mike Matheny's point of view, is figuring out when to use it.
Yeah, and I think with more work, it's what, his 20th appearance, something like that. Bill didn't like that strike call. Had good cause.
It's fair. Down the left field line.
Ground rule double. It bounced into the stands, so it's a ground rule double. So he's not out. Cardinal fans won't like that when they figure it out. Got that really low wall there, and I think what Mark Wegner said is he saw that ball bounce and goes over the wall and then back into the playing field. So Mike Matheny will come out and he will get an interpretation. See, it's fair right on the chalk line, but watch this. It's into the stands and then it bounced back into the playing field, so the umpires got it right.
Mark Wegner and Mike Matheny talking it over, and look at it one more time.
Yeah, watch it go over the wall, into the stands, or no, it didn't. Yeah. What did I see the first time?
Well, it looked like it may have gone and hit the seat or maybe even the chair of the ball boy down the left field line, but Mike Matheny's right. Alan Craig probably had the best view from his angle, and he's the one that was actually calling for an argument here. So Wegner's watching the ball hit the line first, and he has to see whether it goes into the stands, and it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. So they did not get it right. Is that one reviewable?
I do not believe so.
Thought they kind of changed it because, like the Santana no-hitter.
Base hit to left. Tejada pushes Ankiel to third. So a good start for the Mets here in the 7th inning. Runners at the corners. For the pitcher, Jonathan Neese. Again, Choate staying in this game longer. A lot of left-handers in this lineup, and Mike Matheny trying to force that lineup to be turned over. Got a right-hander loose just in case.
He's got 3 consecutive, including the pitcher Neese at the top of the order. I would think they would pinch hit for down the speed. Maybe with a lead they won't.
Tough for the pitcher Neese to bunt against Choate, who throws sidearm, really throws from the hip as that slider that he's going to use. It'll be tough to get the bunt down in this situation, but the Mets trying to stay out of a double play for sure. There's a slider again. It misses. I saw that ground rule double, officially called a ground rule double here in the press box, the same way you did. I thought it went into the stands, and that's of course what Mark Wegner saw.
But we were wrong.
Break for the Mets. Lenick wants to throw, doesn't he? Making sure that the runner at third, Ankiel, doesn't get too big a jump.
He's kind of following David Freese, and Lena wanted to throw, but Freese was way in on the grass and very shallow for the left fielder and center fielder.
Mets have Turner, Bird, Recker, and Lagares on their bench to bat from the right side. choose to pinch hit for Valdespin. First things first, 2-2 the count to Nice. Bunting, and he fouls it off, and that's going to be strike 3. That helps. Terry Collins will let Valdespin hit against the lefty Choate.
A little surprising. They do have a 3-run lead, but Choate not a comfortable at bat for a left-handed hitter.
Pete Kozma looking into the Cardinals dugout and raising his hands, asking, "Where do you want me?" Wants to make sure he's in the right spot right now. The Cardinals about a little better than halfway, and Kozma moving in more now.
He's showing bunt.
Play that teams have been working on quite a bit, where in this situation you'll bunt the ball to the third baseman and bring the runner in along with the third baseman. But even better than that, popped up to the catcher Molina.
I don't understand that. You want to bunt him, both runners into scoring position, and then bring up Murphy with 2 outs. Bad form. Deserves to pop it up. Murphy 3 hits again today. Pair of doubles, 2 runs scored, an RBI. Last 5 games he has 10 hits.
Mets' inability to bunt here in the 7th inning. A break for St. Louis after they got a break on a ball that should have been a 7-4 putout at second base, getting Rick Ankiel.
Should be out of the inning, but it's 2-0 count. This is the last batter Choate will face.
On Murphy. Murphy's had a very good series against the Cardinals, racking up the hits. 3 hits today.
There's 10 hits in the series to this point, including a 3-run home run. He's been a thorn in the side of the Cardinal pitchers all series long.
Murphy, Alvarez, and Kemp all having good series against the Cardinals. Alvarez we're not surprised about, but Murphy's a new guy to worry about. Choate is through. Here comes Salas, our Chevy call to the bullpen. More on him when we come back. this afternoon. He comes in with bases loaded. Ankiel, Tejada, Murphy, and at the plate, David Wright.
Fernando usually throws strikes, and he has a career 197 batting average against here at Busch Stadium. Has a pitch that's last Sunday. Not a terribly long time for a reliever.
Last 6 pitches by the Cardinals relievers out of the strike zone. 4-pitch walk to Daniel Murphy, loaded the bases after 2 botched bunt attempts by the Mets. Off-speed pitch right down the middle. I'm glad he wasn't looking for it.
You're right.
Two hits already today for David Wright. And a line drive, and it's caught by Carpenter. Back pedals and then makes the play. That could be a big out in this game. Time to stretch and time to hit. Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. And by Ford, the official cars and trucks of the St. Louis Cardinals. David Freese leads it off for St. Louis in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Cardinals trailing by 3. Jonathan Neese, 91 pitches. He has really settled down. Only 1 Cardinal run. Ground ball up the middle. Jump throw. And Daniel Murphy retires David Freese. 1 pitch, 1 out in the 7th.
What can't Murphy do? Just having a tremendous offensive series, and here he makes a very nice play. You never know what would happen if David Freese would have had a leadoff single there. And jumps high in the air and had something on that throw. Still hang the laundry on it. That line. Wigginton in the lineup today because of his 4 for 10. Off a Neese coming in 0 for 2 today.
One of those throws where you'd like for folks to go ahead and try that at home. Just see how hard you can throw when you're jumping and spinning and turning at the same time and throw it. I mean, he made it look easy. And you mentioned it was a clothesline throw, but very difficult to accomplish.
You know, how many times you hear somebody say, oh, just weak arm, just move him over to second. And you try and make that type of play.
Good point.
Hard hit ball there, but right at the shortstop. Action in the bullpen, or now maybe after that out, they sat down, but came in with 91, 4 pitches more, and he's got 2 outs.
44,068 here this afternoon.
Hosmer with the only RBI of the game here. He hit a double, scoring Molina back in the 2nd inning.
Al, we mentioned the Cardinals magazine here yesterday, and it's a good one. There's a nice story on Oscar Taveras in it, and also a story on the Cardinals legend camp, and really a very well-written article from the staff writer Gabe Kiley. But one of the things that the campers talk about in that is just how they have a different respect for what these guys on the field are doing right now. What they do, they make look easy, but it's not.
No, it's not. And Ricky, I don't know about you, but that's one thing that when you leave the playing field and you come to the broadcast booth and you're sitting on the best seat in the house, everything looks so easy.
No question.
And you have to remember that that's not the case.
Matt Holliday
is on deck. If Hosmer can extend the inning, it's late in the ball game. He usually comes up with something special.
Hosmer jammed. And a sliding catch by Davis.
That was special, but not the way I was thinking.
Cardinals go quietly in the 7th. Only 2 more chances to get back in this one. Sports Midwest. Let's go to Pat Paris in our studio with a Bommarito Sports Update. Pat. Thanks, Pat. Good pitching matchup there. We mentioned the matchup in Miami. Matt Latos going to start later on today. The Reds are red hot. Burgos and Liriano pitching in Pittsburgh. The Brewers playing there, and then the Brewers after the night game headed here to St. Louis for a weekend series. Tickets available. Come join us.
Good pitching matchup in Miami. Latos versus Fernandez. Fernandez their best pitcher.
Fernando Salas came on to get a big out in the 7th inning. Liner off the bat of David Wright with the bases loaded. Brought in by Carpenter, the second baseman. First full inning of work facing Davis, Duda, and Buck. And a rough afternoon for Ike Davis, who strikes out again.
Now this is the 4th strikeout for Ike Davis, really struggling. 3 strikeouts, a hat trick, 4 the golden sombrero, and 5 your release.
There's no name to it. They just get rid of you. Five's a lot. Alan.
5's a lot. I've seen it happen and the guys stay in the big leagues, but it sounds better when you say release.
Dave Bruce struck out a lot. Reggie Jackson struck out a lot.
Reggie Jackson, his biggest accomplishment, is he glorified the strikeout. Everybody started saying, well, now it's an out, but no, it's not. You put the ball in play, a lot of things positive can happen, and virtually nothing is positive from a strikeout.
A lot of strikeouts across baseball this season.
Our dear friend Lou Brock also struck out a lot, and I think Lou one time said if you put his numbers and Jackson's strikeout totals together, it was like they struck out every time for 3 years.
Hard hit into right center, and they're not going to catch this one. Up against the wall, Shane Robinson, who is playing him straight up in center, gets the ball back into play, but a double for Duda, his first hit of the day. And that's the 9th New York Met hit of the afternoon.
Got a lot of power and up against the wall. Had a sac fly back in the 6th inning, and now his double. Going back to Ike Davis with his 4 strikeouts today. Last year he led the club with 32 home runs.
Ground ball up the middle. This is trouble. Past Cosma into center field. Here comes Duda. Throw to the plate, and it's cut off by Wigginton. So the Mets pick up another run, and they lead 5-1.
I think they see here Shane Robinson. I think this throw is more indicative of just not playing time, no playing time, as he tried to make sure he threw it a low trajectory and he threw a ground ball. Had no chance of getting Duda out anyway, and because it was such, not a good throw, but it was low, cut off, and Buck couldn't advance. You agree with me? Maybe that throw was indicative of how much time sitting on the bench.
No question. Yeah, it's hard to get your timing with that. You
Sure.
can work at it all you want, but you're talking about game speed.
Game speed, yeah, it changes the whole practice mode.
Long one to right. Down the line, in the corner. Beltran has it. Almost enough for home run distance for Rick Ankiel, but a high, loud, long out. Tejada 1 for 3. He has not had a very good May either, like most of the Mets offensively. But he's one of the toughest guys in the National League to strike out. He puts the ball in play, just what you're talking about. Duda and Davis strike out a ton. But Tejada at least is putting the ball into play.
Tejada is 1 for 3 today, but 174 in 12 May games. Mike Baxter has gone to the on-deck circle, so we will get into the Mets bullpen. Brandon Lyon is warming up. Keep it right there, and even with 8th to 9th innings, you still might be able to do some damage against the pen.
We mentioned all series, Al, only 4 total saves out of the New York Mets bullpen, 3 of them for Bobby Parnell, who is their closer.
Keep it right there. The Mets have allowed at least 1 run in each of its last 9 games. Been giving up home runs out in the bullpen. Gary Collins has to be very happy with what he's seen from Jonathan Neese today, though. Be their 5th win by a starter other than Harvey.
100 pitches for Neese through 7. If Tejada makes it out, would you be tempted to send Neese back out for 1 more?
See your reasoning, but these last 2 times out, giving up 15 runs. His last 2 starts.
Get out while the getting's good.
I like how the Cardinal starters have been pushed, and Mike expects them to go deeper into ball games, throw well over 100 pitches.
No complete games for Neese since 2010.
You definitely would be tempted with the problems you've had in the Mets bullpen. I think the other way, Ricky, is if you got one guy on, would you take him out? If you're going to do that, then let the reliever start the inning.
I like that philosophy. Tejada hanging tough against Salas. Mets have added a run here in the 8th inning. Trying to avoid a sweep. Mets at 14 and 23 in 4th place in the East. But because no team is running away with it, the Braves have kind of come back to earth. The Mets are just 6 games out. Hard hit. Left center field. On the move is Craig. And he makes the play on the warning track. A couple of long fly balls in the 8th inning against Salas. The Mets pick up another. 5-1 New York. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the St. Louis Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Jonathan Neese back out for the 8th inning, and the Cardinals will send pinch hitter John Jay to the plate. You mentioned at the top, Al, that John Jay has hit Jonathan Neese well, and the only other options for Mike Matheny from the right side would be to use Tony Cruz, your backup catcher, or Matt Holliday to lead off an inning.
And Holliday is 2 for 10 against him. So
and you'd almost like to use him in a, well, you would like to use him in a higher leverage situation in the leadoff spot. So Jay gets the call, and he takes strike 1 to Neese. Working in unfamiliar territory.
Yes. John Jay, see the success he has in May, and it's not only with batting average, but producing, driving in runs.
Tejada, smooth hands, throws out John Jay.
Tejada's got 6 errors, young shortstop, and most of those, if not all of them, came in April. Well against the Cardinals in the past. Last time out against them, he pitched very well.
Neese first came to the big leagues in 2008, 7th round pick, 2005 draft. Won 9 games for the Mets in 2010.
He's trying to break a 4-game losing streak.
Hard hit in the gap, could be trouble, and it's down. Up against the wall, and Matt Carpenter gets his 13th double of the season. So the Cardinals have a base runner here in the 8th inning, trailing by 4.
Brandon Lyon continues to throw, and now their closer Bobby Parnell has joined him in the Mets bullpen. Joe Kelly warming up for the Cardinals, but they're a big looping curveball, and sat up there for him. Still have to hit it. Carpenter did. '39 is Parnell. 34 is Brandon Lyon. And I said if you were going to allow one base runner, you'd take him out. You know, you shouldn't send him out there. But obviously, he's not taking him out.
Could this be the inning that the Cardinals solve the riddle of Jonathan Reese? Reese has been terrific here this afternoon. Just 6 Cardinal hits. And the 1 run came in the 2nd inning. Shane Robinson has bounced out the 3 different infielders.
Time of game, you get your bench players in a game like this. They really may not do a lot in this game, but it really prepares them for their next role as the pinch hitter in games that follow.
The 2-2. Fouled off again.
Getting in on these right-handed batters pretty well. If a lefty can get in on right-handed batters, he has a pretty easy, much easier time. If he doesn't, he won't be out there long because he'll be leaving a lot of those pitches middle half in, and they'll be hit hard.
Today more indicative of the Jonathan Neese of a year ago. 13-9 last year for New York in 30 starts. And a very low ERA of 3.4.
Against the Cardinals, he's 2-1 with an ERA under 2. So
and a walk to Shane Robinson. That's going to help. And that's going to get him out of this ball game. Terry Collins jumps out of the dugout. And we're going to have a pitching change. Cardinals threatening here in the 8th. 2 runners aboard for Carlos Beltran.
whatever.
Go ahead.
Okay. Over the Cardinals, but it's getting a little scary. Our Chevy called the bullpen. The veteran Brian Landon will come in. So Carlos, the switch hitter, he has to revamp all of his guards and even the helmet, because he's turning around now. He'll, instead of batting right-handed, he'll be batting left, so protect that right elbow. And now you get the new helmet, which will protect the right ear. Flap is on that side. Carlos now returns to his natural side is right-handed, but this is the side that made him able to play every day. 300 average, 7 home runs, 7 of his 10, 17 of his 26 RBIs batting left.
I have to ask Ozzie Smith, but if memory serves, he used a different bat left-handed and right-handed too.
You know, a lot of times they're stronger from the right side, their natural side. So it may be a little heavier bat there, and then swinging from the left side, more of a slap hitter for Ozzie in particular.
Line drive, base hit to left for Carlos Beltran. Oquendo sends the runner home. Carpenter scores for the 31st time this season, and the Cardinals have cut it to 5-2.
Beltran didn't want to come out of any games, but at 36 years of age, Mike Matheny's making him miss a few more to keep him fresh. And you can't say it hadn't worked, because this is his 3rd hit of this ball game. Ball out of way, nice level swing, just puts a line drive over to Hada's head, the shortstop, and really catches right off the end of the bat, so it wasn't going to carry far. And Shane Robinson could only go one base. He couldn't go from first to third on that one. But Alan Craig comes up, and you know what he can do, especially with men in scoring position.
And he is representing the tying run at the plate. The pitch to Craig. Strike one.
ran in double play last time up, and that's what Brandon Lyon, a lot of ground balls. That's what he's looking for right now.
Big hit here from the Cardinals' point of view, and this crowd will erupt. 44,000 plus. The 0-1. Low 1-1.
Jonathan Neese has lost 4 straight decisions. All he can do is just cross his fingers and hope.
And cheer. The 1-1. 2-1. Some starters, when they come out, they can barely watch. Now the rule of thumb, again, is that you have to be out there as long as your guys are out there and it's your inning before you go in to the clubhouse. I think most teams still adhere to that. So I'm sure he's watching. He left him out there. The 2-1.
It's another one of the unwritten rules, right?
Exactly.
You're a very interested observer, but you have your runners out there, and he's responsible for Shane Robinson at second base. Also caring a lot about Brandon Lyon, hoping he gets out of this inning so he's still in line for the victory.
Big pitch here. 2-2 to Craig. 2 Cardinals aboard in the 8th. Here it comes. Hard ground ball to third. Right to second for 1. And another double play completed by the Mets infield. 5-4-3. Second time Craig has bounced into a double play. The Cardinals trailed the Mets. Bottom of the 8th inning ended this way.
See if this ball is away from him and he rolls over. No, it's on the inside. He tries to turn on it, but right to Avid. Right, and the second double play turned off the bat of Alan Craig. This is our starter, Jonathan Neese, and now all of a sudden he can go to the dugout and he knows the only thing he could do is be the winner and doesn't want to think about being the no decision. Our Chevy called the bullpen, brings in Joe Kelly, and the first man he will face is Mike Baxter.
Talked about the tough time the Cardinals have had against left-handers. Here's kind of a list of some in the last couple of weeks. De La Rosa, Wood, Locke, and Detweiler all with good starts against the Cardinals, and perhaps a trend starting here, and maybe small sample size, but this of late, Cardinals haven't solved the lefties.
Koufax, Carlton, Spahn,
Grabowski,
Johnson, Randy Johnson. I think that, as we said, we've had our problems, and historically, it seems like the Cardinals for a couple, 3 or 4 decades have had trouble against left-handed pitchers. Really not, especially say a rookie pitcher making his first appearance against them. Cardinals have had trouble, but last year it wasn't the case, and I think over the long haul this year, they're going to get plenty of wins against left-handed starters.
Mike Baxter pinch hits for New York, and Mike Matheny addressed this the other day, and he said, I don't expect this to be a trend that our team will have to deal with, because we're predominantly a right-handed hitting team. You've got Molina, Craig, Beltran, Freeze, Holiday from the right side. That's where a lot of your pop and your power comes from. So he just wouldn't think that would continue.
Kelly's facing a hitter that is hitless in his last 10 at bats, but as a pinch hitter, he has been special. Last year he led the majors in pinch hit average with a .458 average, 11 for 24 coming off the bench. Hitting .500 this year, 5 for 10 with a walk and a hit by pitch as a pinch hitter. I've seen him start a game, but his forte is coming off the bench.
Swing and a miss. Baxter strikes out. We talked a lot about Jonathan Neese. He is our Budweiser player of the game, in line for his 3rd victory. If his bullpen can help him out, 7 1/3 solid innings, 3 strikeouts and 2 walks.
It's one of the few times that he's had more strikeouts than walks.
Back to the top of the order in Valdespin. Is bunt really a key play in this game?
I was just thinking of that. It's let off really it was 2 outs. Bunted on to first, then Murphy drove him in with a double. The Mets, and then David Wright drove in Murphy's. That's how the Mets got on the scoreboard back in the 3rd inning and took a 2-1 lead.
Cardinals not done yet. Still have a bottom of the 9th. And looking ahead, Yadier Molina, David Freese, and Ty Wigginton. And you also have Matt Holliday available.
Holliday and Adams available. So you can still have some guys that can hit the ball in the ballpark.
Three and 1 to Valdespin. Kelly rocks and fires. Flair into center field. Robinson makes the play. Valdespin. We talked about that big play that came in the early going, and we're going to call that our Nissan drive of the game, Al.
Just perfect bunt down the first base line. It's in between the pitcher and the first baseman. You saw Carpenter come in there trying to make a miraculous play, and that kind of started the ball rolling for the Mets. They end up with 2 runs that inning.
And maybe Joe Kelly should try throwing underhand to Daniel Murphy. Let's try something different.
He's 1 for 2 off of Kelly too.
Murphy, not one of the scariest names in all of the National League, but he has good numbers. Solid hitter. .292 for his career.
Am I right in the fact that they always knew he could swing the bat a little bit, but tried to find a position for him? Not really a true second baseman, but made all the plays in this series, and he's been the best hitter on the field.
part of that finding the right position. You know, how many big league baseball players played second base in high school? Probably very few.
Yeah.
Somewhere along the line, somebody's got to determine what's the best position for a young player and put him where he's comfortable. Normally shortstops, pitchers, in some case outfielders, catchers, first baseman, but very rarely will you see a big league player that played second in high school. Watch out.
4th hit of today and 10th of the series. And on base 5 times today. 4 hits and a walk.
And that has made David Wright happy. 2 hits behind him. Means more RBI opportunities for him. 25 on the season, including a couple here today.
And the way that Ike Davis and Duda are hitting behind him, you know he's probably not getting a lot of good pitches. Has 2 hits in this game.
This game still very much in reach for the Cardinals. 5-2 in the 9th inning. Bobby Parnell will have that 9th. 3 saves on the season. He's a hard-throwing right-hander. But the Mets have not been in this situation very much this year. So you wonder how they'll handle it. Joe Kelly needs to make sure that is the score going to the bottom of the 9th. 5-2. Taking a deep breath. We talk about the velocity now the Cardinals pitchers have coming out of the bullpen, or some of the guys in the rotation like Shelby Miller. Joe Kelly's not the first name we come up with often.
But he showed last year that I think he was around 4th, the highest velocity among National League starters last year.
Close play at first. Quick throw from Kelly.
Maybe that's how we get him out. Pick him off.
Got to try something new. Murphy doesn't run much. Ground ball up the middle. Cosma flips to second, and he's safe. Carpenter tried to keep on the bag, but according to the second base umpire Mike Winters, our crew chief, Carpenter did indeed catch the ball but wasn't on the bag at the same time. Tough play for Cosma.
Talking about his range is getting better going to up the middle, and he flipped it. Would have been a heck of a play, but you can see he's off the bag when he catches it in his bare hand. Fielder's choice on that's crazy.
That will change. Got to change. That's a base hit.
I'm just leaving my infield base hit now.
Yeah. There's no doubt that's ridiculous.
Couldn't get it there. How's he going to get it at first?
David Wright runs very well. And you have to factor that into the equation. For Cosma to make that play and spin and fire and throw to first, I'm not sure he gets David Wright. Made a choice to go to the easiest base possible, which wasn't very easy. So good attempt all the way around, but an infield hit, we say, for David Wright.
Mike Davis says thanks a lot.
He didn't strike out, Al.
Didn't get released.
But he did ground out. Cardinals stay within 3. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Yadier Molina will lead it off.
To the bottom of the 9th in St. Louis. Coming up after the game on the post-game edition of Missouri Lottery Cardinals Live, Pat Paris and Jim Edmonds are at Lumiere Place. The Mets bats come to life against Adam Wainwright. They'll break it down. The Cards have a tough time figuring out Jonathan Neese. Plus, we'll have Mike Matheny's post-game media session as well. All that coming up after the game. For now, it's back to the booth and Rick and Al, guys.
Thanks, Jim. Looking forward to the post-game show, but more work to do for the Cardinals here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Mike Matheny has his club still in this, just 3 runs down. And they've got Molina, Freese, and Wigginton scheduled to hit. Daniel Descalzo in the on-deck circle. Looks like he's going to bat for David Freese. Again, we mentioned Matt Adams and Matt Holliday also lurking. Or Chevy called in the bullpen is the hard-throwing right-hander Parnell.
He's not allowed to run in the month of May. That's covering a span of 5 innings. He has 3 wins, 1 save this month. Strikeout per inning.
Ground ball to short. 1 pitch, 1 out. Different outfield for the Mets here for the 9th. Factor stays in the game. He's in left field. Ankiel has moved from left to right, and Lagares is in center. Here's Daniel Descalzo pinch hitting for David Freese.
Well, left-handers got a right-handed pitcher out there, but Parnell has had no trouble with lefties. They're batting 167 against him this season. Parnell also leads the Mets relievers in ERA. Came in at 1.10, 9th best in the National League.
So when you're playing the Mets, the 2 guys you don't want to see,
and
Matt Harvey, well, you don't want to see him either, but from a pitching standpoint, Matt Harvey or Bobby Parnell.
Yeah, their closer, Parnell, has as many wins as their best starter, 4.
Jams Descalzo, pops it up on the left side. Easy for Tejada. So the Cardinals down to their last out.
Matt Adams will hit here.
A glimmer of hope, a flicker of hope. But we've seen it before. Shift is on for Adams. That's trying to avoid a sweep. 2 outs in the Cardinals' ninth. There's the shift we were talking about. Again, very little experience watching Matt Adams play, but they know to put the shift on, and he beats it. I'd like to see one more runner aboard and then Matt Holliday. How about you?
I definitely would like that. So you see the shift, second baseman on the grass playing short right field and bounces it up the middle.
Good job for Matt Adams, who's now 3 for 6 as a pinch hitter. And that's tough to do. Like we talked about yesterday, Al, you're facing closers when you are pinch hitting in late in ball games. You're facing the other team's best.
And not only that, gee, remember he's on the disabled list for 2 weeks, so got 12 at bats rehabbing, and then come back here, and it's been a couple weeks where pretty much just sitting on the bench. Few appearances. He was hot as can be coming into action, and there you see Holliday will hit if Cosma can extend this game.
Holliday 2 for 4 in his career against Parnell, and that's what we want to see. Pete Cosma, up to him to give Holliday that chance. The 1-1. He wouldn't walk him, would he?
I like your thinking. Parnell, hard thrower, but
ground ball, just foul.
That'd have been nice. Parnell's come into action here with 14 major league saves. Had 7 of those last season, and 1 all the way back in 2009, and 6 more in 2011, 7 last year.
2 outs in the ninth, and a swing and a miss. Cosma strikes out. The Mets avoid the sweep. Jonathan Neese picks up his 3rd victory, and Adam Wainwright falls to 5-3.
Frustrating you can't complete the 4-game sweep, but if you would have said you'd win 3 out of 4, we'd all been happy. So Mike Matheny's teams and this 10-game homestand has won 5 of 7, and we got 3 more with Milwaukee coming up this weekend.
Looking forward to this weekend series, but coming up next is our post-game show. Stay tuned.